Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this update we are going to talk about ONDO. And if you remember, in the previous ONDO video we talked about the possibility of having in this area a WXY in form of a double zigzag, which suggests basically our bull run is over. Don't get me wrong, you can consider this possibility, but for me this isn't actually going to be my primary scenario. In my primary case, I'm gonna argue, sure, we are having an ABC up to about here into a wave W, but the end of our wave X is probably going to be right in here, and then we are going to start another big move up into our wave Y, and after it, okay, we can say our bull run is over. For now, I think we are overall in a correction structure into this wave X, and in terms of the shape of it, I think we can consider a running flat or maybe an expanded flat, which looks like this. This is our initial move down into a correction for wave B, and then we are going to have another move down into our C leg. And in case that in this phase we're not going to take the low of our wave A, this pattern is called a running flat, and if we are going to take it and we're going to do something like this, this is called an expanded flat structure. Nonetheless, sub waves are going to be pretty much the same, meaning ABC down into A, ABC, or maybe a WXY on the upside, doesn't matter, into B, and from this point a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down into C. Now let's go on the live chart and see what is happening. So I still stand by what I said, and I think this is actually an ABC up. And before that, I think in this phase down, we are having from here to about this point an A correction for wave B, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down into our C leg. So far, this is ABC down. After it, ABC on the upside, and pay attention to this. I am thinking in ONDO, we may have a wave 1 to about here, correction for wave 2 to around this area, and this shadow doesn't actually exist when you go on some other charts from different exchanges. So I'm gonna say this wasn't actually that much of a deep move down, and for example for wave 2 we can have like an ABC running flat, and then the end of our wave 3 is probably going to be right around this area, correction for 4, and we can have another move on the downside into our wave 5, and at that point we can say the sub waves for, you know what, most likely an ABC running flat is complete. And what are we going to do then? Well, we are probably going to start a fantastic phase of the bull run, which in it I expect ONDO to set an all-time high and take the highest high, which is somewhere around $2, and I think we can go quite a bit higher than that. Now, here's a very important point. According to this pattern, it seems like that maybe our move on the downside in ONDO is not going to be over, but this doesn't mean that I expect some deep moves down. No, we talked about this subject in the previous video. There is a very important support in here from, I believe it was weekly and daily time frame at the same time, between 66 to about 71-72 cents, and as long as we are staying above this region, I can tell you maybe we're gonna have like an ABCDE, a triangle, and then we're gonna have another move down in order to take this low, but maybe we're not gonna go a whole lot lower, and from here we can absolutely get a very strong bounce back. So as long as we are not going to break this important support, we can say downsides in ONDO are quite limited, and we are either very, very close to our final bottom, or maybe even we have set our final bottom and I am wrong about this last leg down. So in my primary case, the overall picture in ONDO, I believe, looks very, very bullish, and I do think that this move down is going to come to an end soon. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in ONDO. And until the next update, have a wonderful time. Goodbye.